We're going to make this nostalgic looking image here today. This comes from a stock image. I'm going to link it in the description below so you can download it and follow along with me if you'd like to. It's going to be a fun little image to edit today. It's not that hard to do. You're going to learn a lot. We're going to be working with textures and things like that. So, hey, without any further ado, let's get started. Straight off, there's a couple problems with this image here. And number one is I don't like the crop. And number two is this area right in here is all blown out. So we're going to fix both of those. First, let's address the crop. So let's get our crop tool. And there's a really cool feature inside of the crop tool called content aware. See right here? I have that checked on. And I also have delete crop pixels checked on. But the content aware is really what I'm interested in, okay? And the reason being is I want to use an 8x10 crop. So let's come up here to the ratio and click on 8x10. And when I do, you see we have this crop on the image. But what I want to do is I want to widen this image out. So I'm going to drag here. I'm just going to keep dragging till this hits here and this hits here. And then I'm going to drag it and put that flower right in the center here. And I might just pull down from the top just a little bit, something like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and click the check here to commit it and watch what happens. It'll take a little bit of time, but it'll use the content aware crop to fill in. And that looks good. I even like the way this petal is looking over here. I'm going to leave it because we're going to make this into a nostalgic looking type image today. Secondly, we need to address this blown out area in here. I believe we're going to go ahead and use the healing brush to fill this in here. So let's go ahead and get a new layer here. And this is just a blank pixel layer. And let's get our healing brush. J is the shortcut for the healing brush. And make sure you have sample all layers checked on. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom into the image so we can really see what we're working on here. And this healing brush really works wonders here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start trying to repair this a little bit at a time right here. And it doesn't have to look perfect. I just want it to look believable. So I'm just hitting it a couple times just till it looks right. Okay, that looks good. Let me come across here. So far, so good. Let's heal this little area right here. Some of these little white specks in here. Let's get rid of those, like right in here, right here. Okay. Now we'll probably have to take an approach where we just do a little bit at a time on these areas right here. Okay, that looks good. And I'll just tap it a couple times. All right, so far so good. Now let's try to get this area. I'll try it all with one fell swoop right here. Let's see what it can do. Usually does a pretty darn good job. Yeah, so, and that looks believable. There's a little spot right here. I'm happy with that. Even this petal right up here, I'm just going to fix that. And right here, here's a little spot right there. And that looks okay. Because again, it's going to be a nostalgic looking image. It doesn't have to be perfect. This image is all about kind of its imperfections because we're going to be adding textures and things to this. Let's go ahead and combine these two layers up to one new layer. I'm just going to use my Tony Kuiper action to do that. I'll put the shortcuts up on the screen for Mac and Windows, just in case you're interested. I'm going to go ahead and rename this layer to TS2 for Topaz Studio 2. And now we're going to go ahead and launch Topaz Studio 2 because we're going to be working with textures. And if you've ever watched any of my videos in the past, you'll know how much I love that texture filter. Let's go ahead and open up the texture filter. So add filter. It's the very last filter on the list here in the stylistic section here. So click on texture. Now click on this magnifying glass right here, and this is a texture that comes with Topaz Studio 2. I believe it's called Egg Beater. So I'm just going to type that in, and it's this texture right here. All right. Now these textures defaulted opacity at 50 and the normal blend mode. So what I'm going to do is take the opacity. I'm going to take it the whole way up. Now you can really see what that texture looks like. And that's a nice looking texture, especially for this nostalgic look that I'm looking for today. So now we're going to find a blend mode that we like. So let's come to the blend modes, and let's some of the good blend modes for me would be for textures would be multiply, but try them all. But multiply, sometimes color burn will work, and linear burn sometimes will work. Just about any blend mode can work, so try them all. Screen's going to be too light on this one. Overlay and soft light are two of my favorites, but it's not working for here, and hard light works well at times as well as vivid light. But I think I'm going to settle for multiply. So there's multiply, but I think it's a little bit too strong. So let's go ahead and start to ease back on this texture. And we'll stop at a point where we think it looks right. Again, we're going for that nostalgic look. I don't want to go overboard, but I want you to really know there's a texture in there. And I'm thinking maybe right around here. Now we can always come back and readjust this later. Next, we need to remove some of the texture from the flower section in here. It's a little bit too strong. We're not going to take it the whole way off, but we're going to use a layer mask. Let's go ahead and add a layer mask. So just come up to the layer mask icon and give it a click. And let's get a brush. And let's see, where do I want my softness at? I think somewhere around 40, somewhere around there, and adjust my size. And let's adjust our transparency somewhere around 50, somewhere around there I think should be good. And let's just come and take some of this texture off of here. I'm going to stay away from the petal edges as much as I can. And just mainly off of this area of the flower in here. Okay, something like that. I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and add another texture filter. And this time I'm going to click the search bar again and I'm going to type in sun saturation. And here it is right here. This is a border texture, so let's click on it. And there you go. And let's see here. Let me change its blend mode to, I think multiply will be good. So let's click multiply here. And let's see, do we want to give it any more opacity? Yeah, I want it to really pop pretty well here. That's full strength there. That's not even bad at full strength. I might just back it off, ease it off just a little bit off of full strength, but I like a good bit up there. So I think right around a 90 looks really good. I'm happy with that. Next, I just want to add a little bit of detail to this portion of the flower just to draw the viewer's attention into this area right in here. So I'm going to add a filter called Precision Detail, one of my favorites. And you can break your detail down into overall detail, shadow, and highlights. I only need the overall here. So I'm going to add a little bit of small detail, overall small. And just look at the flower right in here. Don't worry about the rest of the image. I'm not really concerned about that, because I will mask it onto the flower only. And let's try a little bit of medium detail. Something like that. Just a very little bit. Now we'll get a layer mask. And we'll go ahead and invert the layer mask to hide it from everything. Now let's get a brush. And I'm going to shut my edge aware off. And my softness at 50, I think it's going to be fine. Let's adjust our radius right there. And let's make sure we're painting with white. So I'm dragging the transparency slider the whole way to the right. And now let's just paint that detail on. Even some of the leaves right there. But mainly right in here. See that? It just draws our attention in. And if I went too strong, I can come up and click on the layer here, Precision Detail. And then just take my opacity and just pull it back a little bit. And I might just do that. I'm just going to ease it back to like a 90. Now let's click this eye right here so we can see the before and the after. But see how that just draws your eye right in? And I like it. I think it looks really cool. I think we have a nice nostalgic look. And if we're happy with it, and I am happy with it, all I need to do is click accept. And that'll send us right back into Photoshop. So we started out with this image right here, and we end up with this. And I like it. It's very, very nostalgic. It has a nice look to it, in my humble opinion. I like it. I'm happy with it. Hey, if you have any comments or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But let's take a look at the very original image, which is right here. And of course, originally we did a crop, and we actually expanded the image and used that really cool feature in the crop tool where it will actually use content aware to fill the image in. So we made our image actually bigger because it was too narrow, and it looked great. But I didn't like the white blown out areas in here, so we went ahead and fixed that. And we fixed that right here. And then we went into Topaz Studio 2, the creative toolbox, and ended up with this. Now, if I was happy with my image at this point, I would just right click on the Topaz Studio 2 layer and click flatten image. And then I would come up here and say file, save. Give it a name and save it, or you could save it with the layers intact, whatever you like. You can save it as a PSD file, or you could save it as a TIFF file with layers, however you like to do it. But in my case, I'm happy with it, so I would just go ahead and flatten it and save it. Well, there it is. A bit of a nostalgic mood today. I hope you enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun making this for you. Hey, if you enjoyed this tutorial today, please give it a like and share it with your friends. If you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell notification icon. Then every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll be notified about it.